And we're live, Doc.
Oh, hello, everybody. Thanks for the cue in live. Few minutes late at office lunchtime here, but it's NBA season. Yes, I know I'm pro football doc, but this is the Sports Injury Central podcast, and we call it Sports Injury Central because we want to be what? Kleenex for injuries for all sports. Whether it's golf, whether it's hockey, whether it's football or football. I know we're mostly known for NFL, but away we go. We've had a pretty good record on NBA in the past. I'll be the first to admit that our football record and experience is greater than basketball. But we've done great at basketball and basketball analysis, and we can discuss that a little bit. But before I soliloquy too much, Taylor, with his baseball hat on, is joined us. Thanks.
I was trying to wear something different because we usually use the usual red. So I have my old school Iverson shirt on, but so a little basketball, but we're kind of like matching the same. I didn't realize we would match with the little navy blue going on here. But yeah, the baseball hat, yeah. Trying to rep all my Philly all in one package.
Mhm. All right. So let's talk before we get into talking basketball. I get it, it's the middle of football season, but basketball season is starting right now. And a couple things. We do have John Heffernan, former Bulls doctor, on our Sports Injury Central staff. We do cover basketball, and you're not going to see as many basketball players or picks now because we're going to let the season sort itself out. But we do want to cover some big basketball injuries for some big players. That's the point of the podcast today as we head into the season. And with that, and we do cover basketball from the get go because you can't jump into basketball in January when football's down to playoffs and not know what's happened all season long with injuries. So we will
Exactly.
be covering it, but we'll be lighter on the plays, sick picks, and news until we get done with football season. But we will be covering it, and that's why we want to cover some of the injuries right now. And I've always said that we deal in cluster injuries. Look, our football record's great. We're doing great on our guaranteed winning season. I think you just told me that our single entry in circa, not bragging because it's a long way to go. We're tied for 58th place, 23 and 12
Mm-hmm.
against the spread so far. So knock on wood, we can continue. But basketball, by definition, every injury is a cluster injury. A power forward injured is an injury to your rebounding. It is an injury to your defense. It is an injury. An injury to your point guard is a cluster injury in terms of assists and distribution. So, in some ways, basketball, as we refine the formula, is easier. We are admittedly ahead of the formula and algorithm in football on sides, but basketball did. I know you guys had a meeting yesterday, close to 60%, correct? Last
Yes.
season?
Yeah, so it goes by like tiers. Like 1 star is like 52 to 54. The 2 star picks is like 53 to maybe 56. But if you have a 3 star with like over a 5+ or differential in the numbers, you have almost 60%, Doc. So that's like really good. And this is a very small sample size. Obviously, like you said, not as tracked as long record as the NFL, but we're starting to build
Not
up our
as
data.
strong as the 56 and a half over 6 years for NFL, but three-star picks approaching 60% for last season. Shorter track record is what it is. But what's funny is, this, but I'll tell the audience. I go by pro football doc because there's more traumatic injuries and it's easier to tell on video. And also my experience is much greater. I do get, I don't know. Should I say this? I don't care. It's fine. Um, my football experience is 17 years in the NFL as a head team physician. I have basketball experience with the Chicago Bulls, but I wasn't the head guy. John Heffernan, the guy we have helping us, was. I have basketball experience covering the Minnesota Timberwolves, but I wasn't the head guy. I was there on the bench and the sidelines. I've got baseball experience as well with the Cubs and Twins. I also have football experience with the Vikings and Bears, but I only talk about the Chargers because I look at it as, you know, there's a lot of doctors and people who can say, I worked in the NFL, I worked with the NBA. Yes, as a resident, as a cup of coffee, as a this. I've got that in all the different sports, but I only say football because it's just the biggest and most authentic experience.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I know football way better than I know basketball. I have worked in basketball in the NBA, like I said, for the Bulls and Timberwolves, but I was not the head guy. So that's why I don't go by Pro Basketball Doc, etc. That's kind of what it is about. But it is about having sports medicine experience, etc., in all the different disciplines. But enough intro. This is a basketball. I know you know, there's some key injuries that we want to discuss as we start the season.
Yeah, we built up a list, compiling all the questions that people have, all the ones that, if you're going to a fantasy draft, what they would like to ask you. So we'll just go list on the top, 10 players I have here. Anybody has any questions, we'll take the questions as well. There's obviously going to be players we don't have on the list, Doc, but we have insights at SICscore.com. Like you said, the six picks will be flowing too. So we'll start right off the bat, Doc. LeBron James. It was 3 to 4 weeks, they said, with sciatica. First, I'm gonna be very dumb and say this. Sounds like a really old person's injury. Like, I haven't heard any, but I've worked with you for 7+8 years. I've never had to write an article about a sciatica before. So I needed you to tell me what the hell it was to begin with. But just delve in why it's almost a month injury. What is sciatica and how would that affect a basketball player?
Sciatica does sound like an old person's injury. I will admit that. But Taylor, I'm disappointed in you, my son. Another prominent NFL player in Los Angeles has sciatica, and we've talked about it. It's potato, and what's in a name? Sciatica is the nerve pain you get from a herniated disc. Now, do you know who I'm talking about?
You talking about nerve pain, sciatica? Is this Najee Harris with the
Matthew
eye?
Stafford.
Oh, with the back. Okay.
It's a herniated disc in the back.
Yes.
With leg pain, sciatica.
Okay.
It's just called differently.
All right.
So we've talked about it.
We have written
another
about it.
Superstar in LA.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford. Okay, I'll stop giving you grief. But Taylor, that's what's really good. To me, it's obvious to me what sciatica means. But
right.
You're telling me the word sciatica isn't obvious to everybody in terms of what it means. And we're here to decipher. I won't say who. I won't blow anyone's cover. I got a call yesterday, literally as I'm on Sirius XM doing the interview for Sirius XM, Pat and Jim. I'm like, oh, it was a reporter that every one of you would recognize. And I was like, I can't answer. I'm not going to say their name. I didn't even say him or her. How about that?
There you go.
I didn't even say him or her.
That's good.
Not being sexist. I called the person back afterwards, and straight out of his mouth was, what is a low high ankle sprain? So what do you mean? He gave me the name of the player. And I was like, that's what we've been talking about with Bryce Young. It's a high ankle mechanism, but we called it an eversion ankle sprain because it's not your classic high ankle sprain. So his layperson said it was a low high ankle sprain, which is medical terms ridiculous, but I knew exactly what it meant.
Right.
Because that's what we were saying, which means Bryce Young is likely out, but this is an IR long-term. This is not JJ McCarthy. This is not long-term, this, that, the other. And we'll skip the hiding behind health part for now. But it does make them feel better that Bryce Young with Andy Dalton behind them for a week or two. But my point is, what's in a name, right? Sciatica, it confuses people. But let me give you the take on LeBron. LeBron has been amazing. I would never use. He has an extensive back issue with the Cavaliers in 14-15, then again in 15-16, then 16 through 18. Back issues were less frequent, but reportedly injections, and kept going. With the Lakers then, and then some back stiffness. He's got a decade of back issues on and off.
Mm-hmm.
But he is not injury prone. If anything, he's as tough as can be. He's played a lot of basketball since he was a teenager, and he's played a lot of basketball. You add in Olympics and this, that, the other. He's played a lot of playoffs. Like, he's played long seasons. The NBA is long enough, but then he goes in the playoffs. I was worried somewhat about Matthew Stafford for the NFL season. He's done great so far, but I always thought nerve issues were unpredictable. But I'm relatively optimistic on LeBron James. Why? If I read the tea leaves here, yes, he's got an extensive history, so I should be more worried. To me, this smells of load management. How do they know it's 3 or 4 weeks? This is called, can I skip the preseason? I get it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a regular season is here. But we joke that this is the NBA preseason.
Until
right?
Christmas. Christmas Day
is real games.
Yeah.
Christmas Day is the start of the NBA real season, right?
Yeah.
I think this smacks of load management. Like, I don't want to play 82 games because I'm not a spring chicken. So, and I think it's smart to do. So I don't make a lot of this other than, yes, you have to note he's had chronic back issues. I think this is LeBron being smart and the Lakers being smart and say, all right, I'm not saying he's going to play in 3 or 4 weeks. I guarantee you he'll be there Christmas Day or ahead of that. I mean, he'll play by December to be in good form by the regular season, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's in any hurry right now.
And this is a team that's not.
I'll take that as good news.
Yeah, and they're a playoff team, Doc, too. So it makes sense to like hold it out a little bit. The NBA midseason cup doesn't start till November-ish too.
This is a veteran NFL player saying, "I'm not reporting to training camp."
Yeah,
or I've got back soreness during training camp, and then I'll get going, kind of thing.
You got this until I come back. Yeah, exactly that kind of thing.
That's my read on this, and I'm not being negative about LeBron. I'm being practical about LeBron. He's got real back issues, but this is a good excuse. I forget who it was. It was recently we covered a basketball player who had a late surgery that literally allowed him to miss the first 6 weeks of the NBA season. And I think that one was planned too. But anyways.
So if you look on our just search history and stuff, how we cover basketball the last 3 years, the most injured player I've asked you about, Doc, is Anthony Davis. And he's literally left the game before, come back in 1 day, multiple weeks. He has a long list of injuries, right? The big one right now I want to talk about, just from your medical expertise, is he had detached retina surgery in the offseason, right? And he stated that he will wear goggles for the rest of his career, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar type situation. Tell me about that surgery and how would it affect the basketball player and how this is something that you've seen before, goggles in the NBA.
First of all, I'm pleasantly surprised you know who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. I mean, all the old names you don't know. I'm joking.
I know joking. Oscar Robinson passed to him. I know some of the names, yeah.
Do you know who Lou Alcindor is?
I know that's also Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, UCLA. I'm okay.
You're okay. I'm just joking around.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Anthony Davis.
Okay.
I like how he always recovers. I don't blame him for being injury prone. Goggles, good for him. He's a tall guy in the trenches. He gets poked in the eye by the little guys all the time and elbowed. Good for him. Protection, detached retina, no biggie, fine. No issue. High marks, healthy.
And this is happened before. Amari Stoudemire had the same issue, played elongated career afterwards. So like you said, no.
Not a worry.
Yeah.
Roll on.
I got next one is Victor Wembanyama, Doc. He missed the last 36 games of the year due to deep vein thrombosis. We've wrote multiple articles on this situation. Multiple players have had this. Tell me how you feel going into this season for Victor Wembanyama.
Well, this big toe for Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama, look, if they found the cause and they're treating it, it should be a non-issue. So, assuming they found the cause and they're treated it, should be a non-issue for Victor Wembanyama.
And he had a clean offseason. There was no issues, full contact. This should be, like you said, a full season for him. Big one, Doc, I talked about, I told you, is Darius Garland. He missed a lot of time last year due to a big toe injury. He played through it, not effective at all. He had issue aggravating it last year in the playoffs, surgery. I saw 4 to 5 months recovery when I first saw this situation. I thought that was a lot. Tell me why that would be such a big recovery for this kind of injury for a basketball player.
Look, there's no details. But the big toe is also the turf toe joint. The most common joint for surgery is the first metatarsal phalangeal joint. The hammer toe, sorry, not the hammer toe, the bunion joint. We talked a lot about Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy. Basketball, it's a big injury. He said he was flat-footed. I think this is a surgery on the first MTP joint, and 4 to 5 month recovery timeline is on the short end.
Wow, okay.
So careful on this one. And I'll give you another reference since we're whatever, and you probably don't know what it is unless you remember my talking about before. Sergeant Hulka. You don't even know who Sergeant Hulka is, do you?
That's the blowing off the hand thing, right?
No, Sergeant Hulka.
I've heard you say it before.
Stripes.
Okay. Oh, Bill Murray, the Bill Murray movie. Yes,
Bill Murray movie.
Okay, yeah.
About the big toe.
And
how important the big toe is. And there was a Sergeant Hulka. You're our big toe. You're the most important
part. Yeah.
The big toe is responsible for over 50% of the running, jumping, and push-off force in your foot. That's why it's a big deal. It's the Sergeant Hulka joint for those who remember stripes or are old like me.
From a point guard and like cutting standpoint, is it more of a case than if I was a big man, or is it going to affect me either way?
Either way.
Okay.
For the game of basketball. Depends on the type of big man you are, right? Or if you're just a plotter and can't get off the ground, it affects you less. But most of the big men are pretty athletic nowadays.
Speaking of athletic big man, Doc, you've been covering him since his shoe exploded at Duke, right? Zion has a long injury history. They said he's slimmed down incredibly this offseason. Tell me your thoughts on him going this season.
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't even watching the game. And I got calls from media friends saying, Zion Williamson, this huge thing, and then the shoe blowout. And I think it might have been one of the first times I was aware there was such a thing as trending on Twitter when I commented on it. I guess I was trending related to Zion Williamson. I mean, whatever. I mean, that was a big shoe blowout. And he's still with Nike, right?
Yes, he is. He is. They traded him nice ever since then, yeah. Because that was the big UNC game, Doc. That was huge that he wasn't able to play in that game. I remember that.
Well, it was an amazing shoe blowout, but I won't get into my discussions. But fortunate enough to meet Phil Knight not pretty soon after that injury, and was watching a basketball game sitting near him, and he was asking you how. It was Zion's first game back. I remember him tapping me on the shoulder and asking me, how's he doing? Because I was following along with the phone. And I was like, yeah, whatever. He's fine. And I mentioned the shoe stuff. And I remember him turning to me and saying, that boy will be just fine.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what shoe he's wearing. He'll develop fine.
And he said he was returning to play, right? And he did. And he did return to play that season. He's done fine. Look, the weight is the key. If the weight is down, I think most of his other stuff will be okay. From the Jones fracture to the hamstring strain to the low back. If his weight is down, he's in shape. Good for him. Contract year, good for him.
So I have the LaMelo Ball on my list. I've covered his brother extensively with you, right? He's had an incredible surgery. He's come back. He's actually going to be the guy that we talked about, Darius Garland, in the left big toe. Lonzo Ball will be playing a lot of his minutes until he returns. So I'll talk about LaMelo first. He's had multiple right ankle injuries. He had a right ankle impingement ending his season last year. He had surgery on it. He's had a right ankle fracture in it. Is there a certain point that he's going to continually have these right ankles injuries, or is this something to watch for in fantasy, or is this something that it just happens and you just go with the flow?
I don't think anyone has been disappointed with Steph Curry. Steph Curry has chronic bilateral ankle issues. He sprains them always during the season. He wears those braces. I am not that worried about LaMelo Ball. Lonzo, on the other hand, very worried. A couple years ago, we had the Bulls team doctor on, and he was like, now he wasn't commenting directly off of knowledge on Lonzo. It was just, we did not violate HIPAA, but saying if the choice of returns to his regular status or his career is over, the choice was career over. So the fact that he looks healthy and playing now is fantastic.
Absolutely.
But careful. The meniscus, the cartilage transplant stuff, that does not have good longevity history in the NBA. Right now, get what you can out of him, protect his minutes. He is someone who needs load management. And if you can get through a season with load management with Lonzo Ball, that is a win. Will you get through a season playing him all 82 games? I don't think you'll make it. Get through the season with load management. That is the win for Lonzo Ball.
And that's like from our scores, that's one of the reasons why we're very low in the Cavaliers to start, because Doc, you have Garland and Lonzo Ball at that point guard spot. So if Garland's not going to be able to start the season, you're going to have Lonzo Ball playing a lot of minutes, and then that wears him down. So then when you go later in the year, are they both going to be there? Like I said, are effective. Hopefully they split at the end. But yeah, like I said, that's going to be a problem to start the year for the Cavaliers. This is my biggest issue. Every time you comment on a Sixers injury, the entire world of Philadelphia gets super, super upset. You've talked about Joel Embiid like 9 different times he has an injury, because it's never good news. Paul George at least 3 times last year, Doc. We'll start first with Joel Embiid. He had the knee injury that you were really worried about at the end of last year. Tell me your thoughts.
Well, that's another one where Philadelphia media told me before that I've been trending in Philadelphia. Every time Joel Embiid is injured and I say something,
you say something again. Yeah.
And I get, that Philly people, I love Philly. Pats, Geno's, I know the tourists only go there. You guys like other things.
There's
I know.
One. No, but you know the deal though. Yeah.
But the cheesesteaks, I love Philly. But look, Joel Embiid, he's got veteran knees. All right. He's been through a lot, from stress fracture in his back to his foot and other things. He's our modern day, and I say this in the kindest and best of ways, because I love him. He's passed away recently. An all-time NBA player from San Diego. Just actually saw some of his family members at a charity fundraiser last week. Bill Walton. Bill Walton's career was amazing. Had a ton of injury issues that shortened his career from super greatness. He's just greatness as opposed to super greatness. Lots of issues. Embiid's the same. Big, powerful guy. When he's healthy, oh my gosh. And I've seen him that way, but he's kind of been a shell more of himself. And look, load management, get him through the season, get him whatever you can. But yeah, worried.
And then on the same team, Doc, I just mentioned his name, Paul George. I remember the first, he was already 30 plus years old, 35 range, and he suffered a knee injury in preseason. And ever since then, he's been suffering knee injuries to both sides. Are you worried about his longevity as well, just by looking at his injury history that you've analyzed before?
How old is he?
I'll get the exact, I want to say 35 at most.
So yes, I'm worried. That's 35. Okay. But if on a scale of worried, I'd be more worried about Joel Embiid.
Okay. 35 years
old. I love Paul George. And, actually I've run into Paul George a couple times. You know who he's buddies with? I've met him before with Marcellus Wiley.
Oh, that's all. And they're LA, met in LA before.
LA, Wiley, Clippers, I like Paul George. And his big injury was that tib fib fracture.
Oh, at the USA game. Yes, he hit the stanchion. Yes, I remember that.
And it was like, he's done. I'm like, no, he's not done. It's good recovery. Another guy, Detroit Lions game Monday night yesterday. I love Troy Aikman. And he said something. I love the fact he says, well, usually when they get these injuries, it's the second year back that's better. And he's fully back this year. True for ACLs, not true for tib fib fractures. We were always high on Aiden Hutchinson being 100% this year. We were super doubtful on making it back for the Super Bowl. And it didn't. And it wasn't ever. They've admitted that it wasn't. But we were super optimistic he'd be 100% for the season. And Aiden Hutchinson is. Paul George was the first famous guy that had that, other than the UFC fighter that had a tib fib fracture.
Was that Conor McGregor? Was that what he had the tib fib? Oh no, Anderson Silva. Who it was. Anderson Silva was the Brazilian
fighter. Silva, thank you.
Yes, it was. Yes, I remember that.
Anderson Silva. Yes.
So these are
does anyone think about Paul George tib fib Aiden Hutchinson type fracture anymore? No.
See, I just remember because I saw it live. I always remember that because I remember James Harden was on the sideline.
Injury history that you guys bring, you guys don't even have it.
Yeah, it's pre before the kids researchers.
You know why? You know why? Don't blame the kids. They searched NBA. This was a USA basketball injury.
It's true. It's not on the NBA injury report and injury history.
Not on the NBA injury report. But I don't see it on the cheat sheet I got in front of you. So.
We both knew it was in our brains already. Yes. The last ones I want to talk about are ones that I feel like are ruled out already, but everyone's going to be asking because these are ones we maybe in our heads know. We had huge injuries: Jayson Tatum, Tyrese Haliburton, Dame Lillard, and Kyrie Irving, all suffering ACL or Achilles injuries. Tell me first on Tatum, and then we'll work on the other players.
I get the buzz. Oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. Yeah, I mean, he can dunk on me any day. He's not close to ready yet. Look, the best chance for him to return is the fact that he really, really, really wants to and is working hard.
Okay.
So I don't know where his contractual status is. If the Celtics are in a spot where he can make a difference, it's possible that he can come back. But how good will he be depends on how early he comes back. I'm not down on Achilles tendon recoveries. Look, I'm the first guy to say Aaron Rodgers actually could have come back in December. Maybe not as early as he said, but the Jets would be out of it by then. Now, if the Celtics are in it, he can help me. He can come back. How early he comes back, how effective he is a different story. But it's not impossible that he can come back. But he's not going to be Jayson Tatum on Christmas Day. Could he help the Celtics in a late playoff run? Maybe.
I was going to say,
this is
the Boston Celtics.
So
this is the Boston Celtics. Go on. Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, this is the Boston Celtics.
And then you have Tyrese Haliburton on here. We talked about it on the McAfee show. He deserves a hero medal. He knew it was possible that he could tear his Achilles, yet he was going to try and play in the NBA championship. And he blew it out in the, fourth or fifth game or whatever it was.
Game seven of the finals, yeah.
He didn't blow it out in game 7.
It wasn't game 7?
I don't think
so. It was the first couple minutes of game 7, I believe.
I don't think so.
Let me see.
It was in the finals. It wasn't game 7.
Oh, 100% the finals, yeah.
All right. Candy bar wager. What do you want? Diet Coke wager.
Tore his right Achilles tendon in game 7 of the finals.
Oh, I owe you.
I don't even like Coke.
All right. I didn't think it was game 7.
It was in the first couple minutes because it was very early on.
I didn't. I knew it was the finals. I didn't remember it to be games. But he played several games before that.
He played with the tendonitis before that, correct?
All right. Yeah. So you should have wagered. I didn't hear the shake. You didn't say down.
Once you bet me, though, I get this weird, like, am I wrong?
But you didn't take it.
Yeah,
I'll owe you anyways. It's fine.
Just one real quick on the Tatum, because it's the Celtics. They're always so deep in the playoffs. If they do make the championship, are you saying a very deep in the playoff run, you're seeing Tatum out there, just not maybe 100%?
Yes, I do think you see Tatum out there. If because he wants to, and remember recovery. It's not like, okay, if you're saying it's 100% Jayson Tatum, I'm not sure it happens this year, but good enough to contribute. Yes.
He might put him out there. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll
The
sum up
ones.
real quickly. LeBron
Yes.
James,
Hmm.
age, but I'm not that worried.
Yes.
Anthony Davis, Darius Garland, some worry, longer than you think. Victor Wembanyama, pretty good.
Good.
Lonzo Ball,
LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo Ball, Joel Embiid,
Paul George,
Jayson Tatum. I'll go like this. I mean, yeah,
okay.
he'll make it back
Do the gladiator thing. Do the gladiator thing. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of thing. So there's your quick summary.
Yes. That's the list I have,
The
Doc.
thumb meter. You like the
yeah.
thumb meter? I just came up with that.
It works.
We got SICscores at the site. Don't worry. I
Yes.
just didn't want to misquote the SICscore. I'm just giving you
Yes.
the thumb meter.
Yes. We don't have the thumb meter on the site, no. But yeah, make sure we go to SICscore.com. All the insights are up, Doc. We'll have insights on the top NBA players. We just wanted to get a couple of players in people's minds before the games tonight. And, get ready for the NBA season at SICscore.com.
All right. Basketball season's here. Good luck. We'll do more as the season rolls on. Right now, full go on football. I'm still trying to figure out whether my son wants to go up to the Charger game for his birthday or not.
He wants to go. Yeah.
What's that?
He probably wants to go. Yeah, he wanted to go.
I don't know. He wants to go, but he's torn because I think it's fun at school when it's your birthday. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I'll be either watching the game in person or whatever. My impetus for going up is obviously Rodney Harrison's getting inducted in the Charger Hall of Fame. I want to be there for him, and we'll see. I'll go if my son wants to go. I want to go just to be there for Rodney, but we'll see. But we're around. That's the next football game. Thanks for watching Pro Football Doc Sports Injury Central podcast. And we're not too much longer than 30 minutes. That was our target. Thanks for listening and watching. And aren't you supposed to go give us thumbs up at ratings since I did a
thumbs up at ratings? Yep, it's a like and
subscribe.
Up,
whatever the like and subscribe is what the cool kids say.
Yes, exactly.
All right. All right. Bye.